its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Great Midwest Bank has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed business technology company. The bank's IT systems administrator, Michael Quizon, comments on the value of local.
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they're there.
James Imaging Systems, local business technology solutions, local support, local accountability. Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales for the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
James Imaging Systems client, Al Leidinger, President of Matheson Manufacturing, summarized the benefit of local.
James Imaging has been a really good partner with us from the beginning.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 11:01. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, January 7th. Your top story, a struggle leads to a police shooting.
I'm Jessica Ty. More stowaways found dead in an airplane.
Partly cloudy today, a high of 27. Mostly cloudy tonight and a low of 13. Wednesday, mix of sun and clouds, maybe some flurries and a high of 22. It's 23 degrees in Milwaukee at 11:01. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a suspect is shot by Milwaukee police during an overnight struggle on the city's south side.
A 19-year-old male suspect wanted for sexual assault of a child was in a home near 7th and Arthur. When officers attempted to arrest the man, that's when Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says the suspect pulled out a gun.
A struggle ensued between two officers and a suspect over the firearm. One officer discharged his firearm, subsequently striking the suspect.
That suspect is now in custody and is expected to survive. The 35-year-old male officer who shot the suspect is on administrative leave. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Bigger agencies are now joining the Wisconsin search for a man who is armed and dangerous.
The FBI and U.S. Marshals joined the search for 47-year-old Virgil Thu. He now faces homicide charges for 3 deaths at a home in New Lisbon. Authorities believe Thu may have left the western Wisconsin area. The woman found dead in the home has been identified as Thu's girlfriend, 33-year-old Elizabeth Kolba. 2 girls were also found dead, ages 12 and 13. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Thu's last confirmed location was just outside of New Lisbon on January 1st.
2 weeks after a man died in the wheel well of a Chicago to Maui passenger jet, it's happened again. The bodies of 2 stowaways were found last night in the wheel compartment of a JetBlue plane going to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. News Nation's Nick Smith.
The airline says the bodies were found during a maintenance inspection, and the plane had come in from JFK Airport in New York. In a statement, JetBlue says it's working with investigators to figure out who those people are and how they ended up in the aircraft.
Investigators say people who try to catch free rides in the wheel wells don't realize how cramped they are, how cold they get mid-flight, and how little oxygen there is.
An update now on the search for a driver who hit a postal worker in Waukesha. Police arrested the driver on 1 count of hit and run involving injury. The suspect was issued a citation and released. Waukesha police say the driver cooperated with the investigation. The suspect says they drove off because they didn't think the mailman was hit and interpreted away from the worker as a signal that he was okay.
Well, the Packers are preparing for the playoffs, but preparations are already underway in Green Bay ahead of the NFL draft in April. Jen Metcalf with Discover Green Bay tells WTMJ the city is more than just what you see on game day at Lambeau Field.
This is our opportunity to really welcome all these folks who are coming here in the name of football, but they'll also be visiting our restaurants, our bars, our parks, just everything in our community. So it's really important for us to make sure that we give them a good first impression if it's their first time here.
The NFL draft runs April 24th through the 26th. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Lots of red today, with the NASDAQ giving back nearly all of its gains from a day ago, down 300 points at 19,566. Dow Jones is off about 50 today at 42,658. S&P 500 down about 45 at 5930 and change. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
How are the Packers doing with their injuries? We'll take a look next. Sports, traffic, and weather right after this. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:05.
The holiday season may be coming to a close, but there's still plenty of time to make it a magical one. Ring in the new year with something stunning and timeless from Diamonds Direct. Start the new year with a celebration of your love, or even a celebration of yourself. Whether you're shopping for the perfect wedding bands, a beautiful pair of diamond studs that were missing from under your tree, or the engagement ring of their dreams, Diamonds Direct has just what you're wishing for. This year, make your New Year's resolution to shop smarter by shopping direct. Making a decision on where to make your next jewelry purchase has never been easier. At Diamonds Direct, you're guaranteed to get an extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and the white glove service that we've long been known for. Let the experts at Diamonds Direct show you the difference in a concierge luxury shopping experience. Kick off the new year the way you've always wanted. Customize your experience in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com today. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown. Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Packers begin the practice week on Wednesday. How much will quarterbacks Jordan Love and Malik Willis be able to do after suffering injuries in Sunday's loss to the Bears?
I couldn't tell you right now because I talked to both of those guys. They seem to be doing all right, but as far as their limits, I think they're going to be okay, but we'll find out over the next 2 days.
Yeah, Love dealing with an elbow injury, Willis a hand injury. Packers 4.5-point underdogs for Sunday's wildcard game in Philadelphia against the Eagles. ESPN reporting the Bears have sought permission from the Cowboys to speak with Mike McCarthy regarding their head coaching vacancy. In college basketball tonight at 7th-ranked Marquette in Big East play against Georgetown at Fiserv Forum. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 7 o'clock.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. We do have two crashes I want to let you know about, both in Milwaukee County. The first one happened, about a half hour ago now, 4194 North at the ramp from College Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked due to a crash, but I just took a peek at the video. I think this is going to be cleared very quickly. I don't actually see the cars from the crash out there anymore, but I do see an emergency responder with the lights on still, pulled off to the side. So hopefully that clears quickly. One that hasn't cleared quickly actually happened just before 8 o'clock this morning on I-43 South at the ramp from Ace Street. That's over by Keefe Avenue as well. Right shoulder blocked because of that crash. Once again, happened earlier this morning, hours ago, but the cars involved still out there right now.
Well, it's a dry day. Clouds filling the sky here. Some peaks of sun downtown in Milwaukee. It's not going to be terribly warm, high of just 27, but nothing to worry about in terms of snow or drifting or wind conditions being elevated. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 13. We stay in the 20s Wednesday and Thursday. Chance of flurries on Wednesday. Next chance of snow maybe on Friday with a high of 30 degrees. 21 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
On a Tuesday here, settling into January weather on Wisconsin's Midday News, but nothing to worry about here. It was crazy yesterday, just sort of watching things happen, the traffic cams, how we sort of do our traffic here.
Oh, I know.
Most of it looked okay, and then some of it looked awful. So a very small area up the coast, it was really going through it yesterday, mainly to the south, but once you got west, it wasn't really a trace of precipitation. So kind of a weird lake effect snow day, but we are removed from that, Jessica. Standard winter day today.
Now we're just in the cold.
Yeah.
And some people don't mind it. I'll take the cold and a sunny day over a cold and a cloudy day.
It's a very interesting question. What would you rather do? It's 11:10 on WTMJ. We're following some big stories here this morning.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the long goodbye. The nation bidding farewell to former President Jimmy Carter. His family just boarded Special Air Mission 39, and they're now headed to D.C. Carter will lie in state in Washington before being laid to rest later this week. For the past 3 days, he lay in repose in Georgia. ABC's Steve Osunsami is on the scene.
He will be flown to D.C. today for public visitation that will take place at the U.S. Capitol. Then the state funeral is Thursday, where President Biden will deliver a eulogy, and we expect every living president to be in attendance. Then he'll be flown home for private burial at his home.
Flags at the White House will be at half-staff in honor of Carter when Donald Trump regains the presidency on January 20th.
Number 2, changes on the way at some of the biggest social media networks on the planet. Meta head Mark Zuckerberg, in a video posted on Facebook, announcing changes he says are aimed at restoring free expression on our platforms. That includes Facebook, Instagram, and on Threads. Changes include getting rid of third-party fact-checkers and replacing them with a community notes system that's similar to how X operates.
The fact-checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the U.S.
Zuckerberg adds that Meta plans to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing for more censorship. And interesting note here, it's a related story. Meta has 3 new board members, part of the board of directors, including Dana White, the Ultimate Fighting Championship chief executive.
I feel like we've heard about Dana White a lot more in the last year or so.
Well, he certainly was a backer of Donald Trump, and Meta plans to work with President Trump and the administration to push back on these government entities around the world.
Number 3, a new warning for everyone who uses dating apps. There's a disturbing new trend targeting people looking for love. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the details.
Police say teenagers, inspired by a scheme on TikTok, are luring victims through dating apps to then frame them as sexual predators, all to mimic the TV show To Catch a Predator. The latest case in Massachusetts, where 5 students at Assumption University face kidnapping charges. Authorities say one of the teens used Tinder to lure a 22-year-old man to campus, then led him to a lounge where nearly 30 students ambushed him, accusing him of being a sexual predator. The group allegedly tried to stop him from leaving, chasing him to his car and assaulting him with a car door.
Jeez, yeah, this isn't like 1 or 2 people involved. I mean, this is groups of people. That story mentions Massachusetts. It's also happened in Illinois. Now police are worried other states, like Wisconsin, could be next.
Very interesting story. It's 11:13 on WTMJ. Coming up next, all the sifting through some of the details and investigation continues after the attack in New Orleans, but there are some monster events on the horizon. It's a city of events. How are they preparing for one of the largest events in the world, and certainly one of the largest in the country, coming up in Q1 of this year? We'll check in with Jim Ryan of ABC after this.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Should I delay my Social Security benefits, or should I start taking them right away? The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Your decision can impact your income for the rest of your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we help you create a strategy to maximize your benefits so you can make the most of what you've earned. Social Security is just one stop on your retirement-ready roadmap. Take the first step today. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free retirement toolkit and get a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Don't leave money on the table. Text SS to 414-897-9522.
Drake
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. I want to tell you about Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. They got the New Year's sale going on. So if you're in the market for a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC, if it's in your future, connect with Team Holiday. Find one that's right for you. Stack it up with their low, simplified price. You'll get more for your trade. Put it all together with the season's best offers. Ready to take the roads this winter with little confidence. Another great option for you could be a GM certified pre-owned model. Now you're talking about peace of mind benefits like 2 factory-backed warranties, scheduled maintenance, courtesy transportation, got roadside assistance. It's all included. Driving a GM certified from Holiday, it's a no-brainer. They are welcoming. They are friendly. Genuine guest care awaits you at Holiday. It's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over the place, and that includes me, repeat customer. Been going to Holiday for over a decade now. Thousands of others who drive Holiday experience what I've experienced. They are Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer. So find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Find them at Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac. Visit holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
But a lot can change when someone new moves into the neighborhood.
A new neighbor invited Michael Ziegler and his family to dinner, served on the floor. It gave Michael a new perspective on how things changed when Jesus moved into our neighborhood to dwell among us and invite us to his heavenly banquet. Hear Dr. Ziegler's message this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
27 degrees, that'll be your high today. Kind of a mixture of clouds and sun. Overnight low of 17 degrees. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, some flurries possible, a high of 22. 28 your high on Thursday, 30 your high on Friday. Chance of light snow, we get up to 32 on Saturday. 21 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:16. Well, President Biden and the First Lady spending time in New Orleans on Monday, meeting with city officials and victims of the horrific truck ramming that killed 14 people early on New Year's Day. And we noted this shortly after the tragic incident occurred. It's a convention city. There's always something going on in New Orleans. And if you look at the calendar here, a couple of major events on its way in likes of the Super Bowl and, of course, Mardi Gras, which kicks off on March the 4th. So the city furiously trying to make sure its security plan is airtight. As we welcome in ABC's Jim Ryan. Jim, I know you spent time in New Orleans last week in kind of the aftermath of the attack. What did you learn from city officials and how they're working to revise the security plan for a couple of major events?
Well, a lot of concern that nothing was done before this happened. The kind of backtracking and city officials saying, look, we wanted to get something done here, the scheduling, the logistics, the funding, et cetera. But and a lot of anger, I think, on a lot of part of people there in the New Orleans area about plans that were kind of put on the shelf to increase the security, especially in the French Quarter. So now they're going back and looking at those plans again, trying to put these bollards in place, these very sturdy barricades to keep people from driving through the streets of the French Quarter and doing what Shamsuddin Jabbar did on New Year's Day. So, yeah, there's a lot to be done here. Keep in mind also, Greg, Mardi Gras isn't just one day. It's not just Fat Tuesday. The parades, the events, they've already started, and they continue for the next several weeks. And it's not just in the French Quarter. It's all over the city of New Orleans, the Garden District, Uptown, Algiers, all over New Orleans. So it's not just one contained area. The good thing about the Super Bowl is that it happens in the Superdome. People get there the day before, they stay until the day after, and then they leave. So it may be a little easier to control it.
Speaking of Mardi Gras, President Biden just granted New Orleans the Level 1 Special Event Assessment Rating, a Tier 1 threat rating for Mardi Gras. What exactly does that mean?
Well, it means that Homeland Security steps in and helps out with the planning and execution of security. They also get there in advance. The request, and under this Tier 1 designation, Jessica, is that that agents will be walking through the French Quarter and visiting different locations in New Orleans to see what might be a, quote, soft target or an attractive target to terrorists. It's exactly the kind of thing that we know that Jabbar did in the months leading up to the terror attack on January 1st. He went around, he found those soft targets, figured out where best to put improvised explosive devices, how to get past the barricade and onto Bourbon Street. So these agents will do kind of the same thing, but with an eye toward preventing the repeat of January 1st.
I read that the mayor had been trying to secure a Tier 1 rating for the parade season since 2019, so it kind of makes you wonder in a way. Here, for years, the mayor's been trying to get this, and it doesn't happen until now. Like, what more can people do when they say, I want this, I feel like my area needs this,
Sure.
But it doesn't happen until something like this happens?
Well, I think you're right. And, the federal officials always work with event planners and big events like the Super Bowl. But I think that what Mayor LaToya Cantrell is looking for is something more consistent. But, I mean, as Greg points out, New Orleans is a convention city. It's a party town. It's a tourist attraction in and of itself, so people are there all the time. It'd be difficult to secure the whole city, throughout the entire year. But
Sure.
At least when you have hundreds of thousands of people visiting, 1 million people come to Mardi Gras every year. That it's just got to be a way to make it safer.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how their messaging rolls out here, Jim, with what is put in place. And of course, it starts with the Super Bowl. And as you point out, you might have some fans of whoever teams are playing come in sort of late in the game, maybe on Friday, maybe they'll leave on Monday. But that is a full week with thousands of members of the media and events happening. And yes, the game is going to be played in one area of town. Mm-hmm. But we know the events are going to take place in the French Quarter, and the media hotel will likely be in the French Quarter. I'll be curious to see what kind of messaging they have to say, we're all good. Here's what we've done. Sort of, it's tricky. You don't want to divulge too much of your plan, but you want to make sure people feel like it's a safe plan.
Sure. Well, I think it's a dual message that the feds and local officials and the NFL will put out. And that is, we got this. We've been in touch with the feds. We've secured the place as best we can. You're going to see local police all over the place, state troopers. And then the second part of the message is a call for help. That is, if you see something, say something. While you're in New Orleans, make sure that if on January 1st, we know that Shamsuddin Jabbar planted these 2 coolers that had what he felt would be effective explosive devices. Turns out they weren't. He didn't have the right kind of detonator for them or the remote control. He bought it at a hobby shop, apparently. It wasn't anything, like a real terrorist would be using. But somebody spotted those coolers, and, one of them was moved. The second one was right where Jabbar had left it. So there's that call that if you see a backpack or you see a cooler where it shouldn't be or something, call somebody, tell the police.
There's a lot of talk right now about the suspect in this case, and I keep thinking as each day goes on, we're learning a little bit more about the victims, but sometimes not everybody hears about that. Yeah. Who were some of these people who lost their lives, Jim? What's the latest?
College students, college graduates, people who from New Orleans itself, people from different parts of the country, and ranging in age from 18 up into the 40s and 50s, and it just and people who had families back home. I mean, and it's just tragic to hear some of the stories and the sense of loss that people are feeling over such a senseless thing, that somebody goes to New Orleans and is enjoying themselves on New Year's and celebrating the coming of the new year and then not to come home at all.
ABC's Jim Ryan. We always appreciate your time, Jim. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Jim.
Guys. See you.
Yep, you bet. Coming up next, the numbers are in, and it was a record year. We'll explain after this.
Don't count us out. Not
Lillard
yet.
scoops to the hoop, lays it in. The Bucks have taken a 1-point Lopez in transition, squeezes off a 3, and he drilled it. The Bucks are on fire.
This season is far from over.
To work with, drives inside and stuffs it down with the right hand. 59 points now for Giannis. He's tapping his chest as he goes the other way, saying, "This is my house.
We are the home of the Bucks.
This is my house."
WTMJ.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Well, according to those who crunch the numbers and go into the deep-rooted analytics of holiday shopping, they have discovered that there was a record-setting year across the board.
Another record.
Incredible. New data shows this year's holiday shopping season broke records online.
Holiday shopping in 2024 surprised with online shopping records totaling over $241 billion from November 1st to December 31st. Adobe Analytics released the data, which shows 8.7% growth year over year. More than 54% of online sales were through a smartphone. Vivek Pandya is Adobe's lead insights analyst.
We've seen strong spending across the board with many major categories, especially apparel, electronics, cosmetics.
Consumers spent over $4 billion 15 different days of the holiday season. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
You could have told me that the total was like $380 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
But okay, that sounds right. I don't know. It's hard for me to quantify. But what I thought was most interesting is that more than half of those sales in that period were through a smartphone.
I'm not surprised at all. Though I do find it kind of easier to jump on an actual computer. It just sometimes is more user-friendly,
Sure.
depending on how much you want to do. But how easy is it to grab your phone and just say boop, 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 boop. And then if you have the payment already saved in there, I mean, it takes seconds to make a purchase.
You know, I did that. I don't know if I'm going to say I was guilty of it. I just did it. And, you know, if you play a lot on Instagram, social media, sometimes you get that thing that you've been looking at. It comes right through your feed and makes it even more convenient. Maybe there's a promo code or something. So it does reduce some of the romance of the holiday shopping period, right? Getting that coffee, going to the mall, walking around, going to a cool store, something different and local. But I understand the convenience element, too.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Saves time. Sometimes it can save money. I know I have Rakuten on my phone, and I use that quite a few times. I'm looking at December, and it just confirmed you saved $1.67
There you go.
at Shutterfly. Now, that's just, pennies ultimately, but sometimes it's not. Buying a gift at Soma, I got back, well, it's pending yet, but we'll get back $18.76. So if you use your smartphone in those ways, and you can also use apps like this on a regular computer as well, but when the stores have all those big savings, those big sales, and then you add on something like this, save.
Sometimes you got to act quick, right? Not enough time to get home and flip open the laptop. Maybe you're out and about and you just feel the urge to make that purchase right away.
Or the store says it's going soon.
Yeah, right.
So many thousands
While
of people
supplies
are
last.
looking at this sweater right now.
Well, big numbers, big spending over that period of time in 2024. It's 11:27 on WTMJ. Get your news coming up in just a couple of minutes.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here, asking you to join me in October as my wife and I explore the magical kingdoms of Southeast Asia, from the villages of Vietnam and the temples of Cambodia to the friendly locals of Laos and the beachside resort in stunning, lively Thailand. I hope you'll join us for this unforgettable journey. Ancient and mysterious worlds of rural landscapes, bustling cities, and fascinating history in Vietnam. Explore the Chu Chi tunnels used by the Viet Cong. Experience a street food adventure through Hanoi and cherish the serenity of Hai Long Bay on a beautiful boat ride. Bangkok in Thailand, the beaches in Thailand, history, tradition, food. If you'd like more information on this great trip, send me an email. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. It's Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. I'm super jazzed about this trip. Send me an email. I send you the info. john.mercure, MERCURE, @WTMJ.com.
Approaching 11:30, I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, January 7th. Your top story, a deadly morning for an ice fisherman.
I'm Jessica Ty. Could you run 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents?
No is the answer to that. Partly cloudy, turning mostly cloudy today, a high of 27. Partly cloudy tonight and a low of 13 degrees. Next chance of snow appears to be on Wednesday. Nothing major here, just some flurries flying around, a mix of sun and clouds, and a high of 22. We stay into the 20s until we get to the weekend. You might see a crack of 30 on Saturday, 32 on Sunday. 21 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:30.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A Florida judge overseeing the classified documents case has temporarily blocked the release of the special counsel's final report. ABC's Stephen Portnoy with details.
Within just hours of being asked, Judge Eileen Cannon has done exactly what Trump's lawyers asked her to do. She's issued an order temporarily blocking the Justice Department from releasing the special counsel's report. Having reviewed a draft of it in Jack Smith's office in recent days, the Trump lawyers argued that the report's release would threaten the rights of the co-defendants in the classified documents case. They still face trial. The attorneys also argued the report would step on Trump's rights as an incoming president.
President-elect Trump at a briefing at his Mar-a-Lago estate criticizing President Biden's decision to ban offshore oil and natural gas drilling, saying he will work to overturn the decision when he takes office. The body of former President Jimmy Carter was flown from Atlanta today to Washington, D.C. His casket will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol. His funeral is set to be held on Thursday. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 11:31. An ice fisherman dies falling through the ice in Marquette County. Sheriff deputies arrived just after 10 o'clock Monday morning to Lawrence Lake in Westfield Township to reports of the fisherman falling through the ice on a UTV. Despite rescue efforts, the man did die. As a safety reminder, officers remind the public to avoid going onto frozen lakes or rivers unless they have confirmed the ice is thick enough and safe for activities.
A lack of meaningful snow on the ground is once again hurting northern Wisconsin. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky tells Wisconsin's Morning News it's been another slow start to winter.
I know we really hammered on it last year, but they're off to another terrible start. Now, granted, it's been cold that they can do some ice fishing and stuff, but they've had less snow than we've had many parts of the state, like Wausau and Points North. And I'm not seeing anything major, even for the Northwoods here for a while.
Yep. Wisconsin State Climatology Office says last winter was the warmest in the state since it started keeping records back in 1895. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in just minutes.
Well, funding is secured to build another high-rise in downtown Milwaukee.
The 31-story apartment tower would become the tallest mass timber high-rise in the state, located near Edison and State Street along the Milwaukee River. That's right near the Marcus Performing Arts Center. The Milwaukee Business Journal says Neutral, which is based out of Madison, has closed on the bank financing, and construction could start this year. The apartment tower would have about 370 units, but still needs buy-in from members of the Common Council. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Representing Wisconsin on the Miss America stage, Mandy Genord of Beaver Dam tells WTMJ how she became friends with Sunday's ultimate winner, Miss Alabama.
She's such a sweetheart, very authentic, very intentional. You know, I was hoping that she would get to live out her dream. And also, Wisconsin, just in general, typically stands behind the woman who gets crowned in order of state and the alphabet. And so to be able to watch her dreams come true, it really was beautiful.
Miss Wisconsin made it to the top 11. She was named a preliminary fitness winner and American Heart Association regional winner.
An oncologist with Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin will soon compete and complete 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents.
The strangest place, he says, is the first stop in Antarctica.
The wind's a big factor there. There's nothing to break that wind. So it's going to be somewhere between 10 to minus 10.
Dr. Clark Gamblin says the journey for him is personal because not only does he perform surgeries on cancer patients, he's survived testicular cancer.
Certainly increased my empathy, I think, maybe my awareness and some of the struggles that people go through that perhaps I didn't fully appreciate.
Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Yep, sure enough. Welcome to the Antarctic Ice Marathon, the world's southernmost marathon. There's a website and everything. They even do a 100K ultra race for those keeping score at home.
I feel like you would be much more likely to do something like that than I would, though.
Gosh, what do you got? You got Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, Antarctica. Is that all 7?
What an experience.
That is unbelievable.
That's awesome. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Packers get rolling with their practice week on Wednesday. Not exactly sure how much quarterbacks Jordan Love and Malik Willis will be able to do after suffering injuries in Sunday's loss to the Bears.
I couldn't tell you right now because I talked to both of those guys. They seem to be doing all right, but as far as their limits, I think they're going to be okay, but we'll find out over the next 2 days.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, Love dealing with an elbow injury. Packers 4.5-point underdogs for Sunday's wildcard game against the Eagles in Philadelphia. And college basketball tonight, 7th-ranked Marquette continues Big East play at Fiserv Forum, taking on Georgetown. You can hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 7 o'clock.
Let's go ahead right now and get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We have a handful of disabled vehicles out on the system. It's kind of one of those days. Most of them are not impacting traffic, however. One that is in a busier spot, I-43 South, just beyond the ramp from Silver Spring Drive. Right shoulder is blocked there due to a car that's broken down. We also have a crash. This happened a while ago, but we still have the remnants out there right now. I-43 South at the ramp from 8th Street, Keith Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked due to a crash that happened earlier.
Partly cloudy today and a high of 27 degrees, a low of 13 overnight. Some flurries possible on Wednesday with a high of 22. Partly cloudy on Thursday and a high of 28. Back to 30 on Friday and Saturday. Chance of light snow on Friday. 22 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:38.
It's Tech Tuesday with ABC News technology reporter Mike Dubusky.
We're not sure if he will be a judge in the upcoming AI beauty pageant, but he is our guest every Tuesday on Tech Tuesday.
The latest and greatest in the world of tech.
Tesla's next product, they call it a robo-taxi. These are AR glasses. They're called simply the Frame.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
Tech Tuesday on a Tuesday, and what a Tuesday it is here. Day one of the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. It's the Super Bowl of electronics. It is a wild scene each and every year. AI, robotics continue to grow. Companies like NVIDIA looking to evolve with new products. Going to be a crazy week, and ABC's Mike Dubusky is covering it. Hello, Mike.
Hey, guys. How are you?
I'm doing great here. So a curtain lifted now on the Consumer Electronics Show. I'm always curious to see what the latest and greatest thing is. It seems like we've moved now beyond the resolution in a flat screen TV, and now we're starting to reveal some really interesting things. What has caught your eye here in the early going?
Yeah, so artificial intelligence, no surprise, is the big theme of CES this year. That is true of the tech world in general, right? We've been talking about AI for several years now. Jensen Huang, who is the CEO of NVIDIA, he kicked the whole thing off on Monday night, kind of setting the tone for the whole show. NVIDIA, of course, is the computer chip manufacturer that is valued at $3.6 trillion. And, of course, they make these computer chips that are really good at running and building AI programs. I talked to Gary Shapiro. He's the head of the company that puts on CES every year, and he says he expects about half of the exhibitors to mention generative AI in some capacity. So AI is over everything. Just some examples here, guys. HP and Dell have announced some new PCs, some new laptops that they say are AI PCs, better designed to run and build AI programs. There's an LG TV. CES is always a big TV show that it says is going to use AI to help sharpen low-quality images. So even if the file you're watching isn't of particularly high quality, it can be a little bit clearer, they say, with the help of some AI. And Google says it's bringing Gemini to its smart home products. So they call their smart home devices Nest products. It's an array of cameras and sensors and smart speakers and that type of thing. And the way Google envisions this working is you walk into your kitchen and you just speak a question or a request into the air, and your kitchen will fulfill that request for you. So some of the examples they give is you can ask, what recipes can I make with the stuff that's in my kitchen right now? And this system will present you with a list of options. Another one is you can ask, where did the cookies on the countertop go? And using cameras arrayed around your kitchen, it will answer that question of who stole the cookie from the cookie jar.
Was it the dog or the husband?
In the example, it was the dog. Fun fact.
Okay, that's fun. You mentioned the CEO of NVIDIA delivering his keynote address. I had read one review that said it had more of a rock concert vibe than a tech CEO speech. But I thought, okay, that kind of sounds like fun.
Yeah. And he announced some new GPUs, which is the specific type of computer chip that NVIDIA specializes in, a graphics processing unit. NVIDIA, interestingly enough, got its start in video game technology. So you think graphics processing, video games, you need to render these very high-intensity 3D environments. Turns out those chips are also really good at running AI programs, and NVIDIA has seen a windfall because of that, with these major companies going to them to basically build their own AI systems. And you're right to say Jensen Huang, he's kind of become this big figure in the tech world, sort of an unknown just a few years ago, but now he's, headlining CES in a leather jacket and feeling like a rock star. So yeah, his leather jacket has gotten some attention in recent years. It's just kind of like, it's kind of cool glow up, as they say.
It's taken on a life of its own. Yeah. When I think of CES, a lot of times I think of just these cool new products that are coming out. But at the end of the day, there are products that kind of reveal solutions to human problems. And one of the things that is interesting this year, we've talked a lot with you in the past few months about self-driving vehicles. Well, here you go with John Deere, self-driving tractors.
Yeah, so believe it or not, John Deere has been in the autonomous tractor game for about 3 years now. And at CES, they've revealed sort of the update to their self-driving tractor line. So they have a standard tractor designed for farming purposes. They have another another tractor that is specifically designed for orchards, which requires kind of different programming and different hardware. There is a dump truck that is fully autonomous and a robot lawnmower that's kind of like a ride-on lawnmower, but of course you don't need to ride on it. And these are all designed to help John Deere get to its eventual goal of creating a fully autonomous corn and soybean farming system by the end of the decade. That's the goal that they've set for themselves. So that's kind of interesting. And just to bring it back to NVIDIA, John Deere says the latest version of these tractors all use NVIDIA GPUs.
Health and fitness, of course, a major thing for our society today. There's a 360-degree AI-powered body scanning health mirror that'll scan your heart, your weight, your metabolic health. You stand in front of this mirror, it does a full scan. It registers what your sleep patterns were. Like, it's insane. It's crazy where the things are going.
Yeah, this is from a company called Withings. It's called the Omnia Smart Mirror, and it's basically a big mirror that you stand in front of, and there's a panel that you stand on that is the smart scale. And you're right, it can measure all different sorts of things about you, from your weight, heart and lung health. It can take an electrocardiogram, they say. Now, this is just a concept device right now. They're still developing it. They don't actually have a production version that you can buy just yet. And that is another theme of CES that has been true for many, many years, is that this isn't really the place that you're going to get your hands on, like, the next iPhone or the next, like, really practical piece of technology. This is a place for littler companies to kind of have a breakout moment and show off a bunch of weird stuff, some kind of unusual, unconventional stuff, and just see what sticks. And that's definitely what Withings is doing. That's what LG is doing with a microwave oven that has a 27-inch Android tablet basically stapled to the front of it. And that's what Revol is doing with their smart baby crib. This is a crib that has a sensor in it that is an air quality sensor. You guys might see where I'm going with this. It can detect and alert you when your baby needs a diaper change. So that is just the whole slew, a good cross-section of the different things that you can see.
It's like a stink meter.
Doesn't our nose already do that? Come on.
I think the idea is that you avoid having to smell anything, or at least immediately.
Okay, so I think of NVIDIA being there, of course. I know Delta's going to be there, Panasonic, Volvo. But do you know what L'Oreal's doing there? I'm thinking for the ladies. I saw L'Oreal's there, and I'm like, okay, what do they have cooking?
Yeah, so it's interesting. We've seen in the beauty space before, L'Oreal and some of its competitors really kind of get into the tech world in terms of like VR, having you try on makeup without actually having to put anything on your face. You can look at a screen and have, this augmented reality experience overlaying certain, cosmetics, occasionally fashion. We've seen that happen as well. So yeah, that is kind of the world that these products, generally operate in. They have been at CES for several years now, which is interesting. They last year actually announced that they have this patent for longevity science rooted in skin intelligence, they call it. Ooh. So, kind of designed to track your age as things go on. But yeah, there's a variety of different companies that you wouldn't necessarily expect to show up to a tech show come up at CES. And that's in part because it allows them to get a little bit more attention, a little bit more mainstream press than they otherwise would.
My final thing, who are the people who go to this, right? I think about myself. I go to the auto show. I bring the kids, right? We have a hot dog, and they rub ketchup on the door handles, and you can sort of get a sense for a vehicle that you might be looking to purchase. But some of this stuff at CES is so far out there. Is it really a consumer-driven sort of event?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, it's not called the Consumer Electronics Show anymore. They like you to just say CES. The acronym doesn't exist, at least in their marketing, anymore. And I think that largely has reflected a shift away from this being a place for people to go and try out technology that's actually going to show up in their lives, and more into being a place for titans of industry and various companies to meet together and to see what each other is working on. Major deals happen behind the scenes at CES that we only learn of months after the fact. And as we said, this is really a place for small companies to break out and kind of capture the public attention. Last year we saw a company called Rabbit really take home many plaudits from the show. People walked away from CES last year and said Rabbit was kind of like the place to be. This was like the big winner of of CES 2024 with their little AI gadget that they called the R1. Of course, several months later, people got their hands on it, reviewers, and they found that it didn't quite do the things that were being promised at CES. But even still, that's kind of what CES is for. It's a place for these smaller companies to really garner public attention in a way that they would not otherwise have.
Good stuff. ABC's Mike Dubusky on Tech Tuesday. We'll check it again next week, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, guys. Take care. Bye.
Yep, you bet. We'll check in with Mike again next week on Tech Tuesday. Coming up next, do you keep a spare pair of underwear?
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring great tips on how to operate your home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off their shoulders. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. It is really a one-call sort of deal with Gruber Law Offices. You make the call if you've been hurt in an accident. Let Gruber focus on handling the legal process while you focus on healing. It's exactly what they've been doing for 40 years and giving back to the community. All top priorities here for Gruber. Fighting your case as one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest. Locally known and nationally recognized, this family-run business. Visit them online at gruber-law.com. Learn more about the firm, what they do for the community, and make that call if you've been hurt in an accident to Gruber. It's 414-276-6666.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Ridgelawns. We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about being a top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission and no more than $19,000 commission, for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
The news you need to know.
Some breaking news. A 4K student dies after being struck by a bus.
Happening now, investigators are looking into the deadly New Year's Day attack in the French Quarter of New Orleans. At least 15 people were killed, dozens more were hurt.
Join Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty every weekday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m.
I don't really take a lot of stock in some reviews, but when it comes to restaurants, I do.
Well, here's to Macedonia getting off the bottom here in 2025.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
You carry a spare tire? Yeah, I've got one of those.
Yep, you bet.
Do you carry a spare pair of underwear?
I don't.
I saw this morning. I thought, what? Who's doing this? Well, apparently nearly half of Americans do. It's according to results of a new study. They polled 2,000 adults, half men, half women, so it wasn't skewed one way or the other. 70% of people who carry a spare pair of underwear have had their backup come to the rescue.
Which brings about a really interesting question. When was the last time you crapped your pants? Right? Because if you have any answer to that question, the likelihood of you being one of those people that carries a spare pair of underwear, I would think is increasingly high. You don't want to get stuck if it's happened to you recently.
Well, That's never happened to me, Greg.
Well, that's good.
Hasn't happened to you. It's a question I never thought I'd ask you, but if you put it that way.
I once added rum to my vanilla shake for $1, and let's just say that was a terrible move.
Get out of
Kids
here.
wanted to look for hermit crabs, and I was having a difficult time.
Oh, my gosh. Well, here's the thing. The people who responded said they would need a backup pair because 39% said they're likely to have an accident. Who's that? Are you looking around the office right now? Going home to the family? Who's that? 37% say they know they'll need to change their clothes at some point during the day. Maybe for the gym? Like if you're getting real sweaty, I guess.
I get that. If you go for a run, you do a workout after work, you maybe don't want to wear any of the clothes that you wore to the gym. Likely to be a shower, but you would need a spare pair of underwear if you wanted to do a full change.
18% say they're accident prone and likely to spill something on themselves. But I'm like, does it go through that much?
I would leave it as accident prone. This is not about spilling. This is about leakage.
Yeah, but I think I could understand after a heavy workout, that kind of makes sense. Some people are saying on a really hot day. There are other things that I probably don't need to say at lunch, but some people said their lunch, if it turns sour, ooh, gosh. More commonplace, apparently, for younger generations. So 60% of Gen Z and 57% of millennials surveyed say they have a, in case of emergency, pair of underwear.
I think
I've never even thought about that.
No, I don't carry much stuff with me. Like, I can't fit an extra pair of underwear in my wallet. Maybe I could, I guess. But I do have a backpack, and I do have a compartment in my vehicle where I could.
You've got room in that backpack.
Yes.
I see it now.
So it's a funny story, and I get it. 2,000 adults have contributed. We have a backpack in my wife's car, and it's in an area for a car where it's like emergency anything.
Sure.
Right? We're somewhere, the kids have a spill, maybe it's colder out than we thought, it starts raining, so we've got an umbrella, we've got raincoats for the kids, we've got a spare change of clothes, we have swimsuits in case we end up somewhere where we're going to be in the water.
Wow, you're prepared.
Who knows why. There's a Frisbee and a little football if we want to play some games. There's a deck of cards.
Jeez.
Yes, I credit my wife for this. Like, we're packed, ready to go. I did notice, as I was going through the backpack once, looking for a jacket for my daughter, that there was a spare pair of underwear for me. And I had to ask her, like, are you serious with this? She's like, well, you never know. Like, you never know. And that is the right answer. You never know.
I can understand with little kids. That's true. You never know. We actually, a listener from the 414 just wrote, I'm a route service driver, and I have a backpack with spare underwear, socks, T-shirt, extra gloves. I get that. I feel like if you're driving somewhere, you're going somewhere, and you just have an extra change of clothes, that I can understand. This whole thing of like maybe in your desk drawer you just have one random pair of underwear. I'd never really heard of that before, but apparently a lot of people are doing it. Also, something else that they looked into, we're getting extra knowledge out of this. People are holding on to their underwear for, what would be your guess?
5 years?
Oh, you're going that long. 3 years.
3 years, and then it'll rotate? Okay.
On average, people are holding onto their old underwear for 3 years. A tenth of people are even keeping their underwear for about 6 years. At least 6 years, it says.
Those are the people who buy black underwear. If you have white underwear, it's gone in like 2 months.
Here's the thing. They also tell you the telltale signs that you need to get new underwear. And I'm like, listen, this is something we just don't need. So I don't even need to get into that because you just know, right?
Well, the elasticity in the waistband is gone. Maybe you've got, forget about it.
Yeah,
it's 11:56 on WTMJ. Check your glove box. Is there underwear in there?
Catch up on Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
It's not the extension of pumpkin spice season. No, it is not a maple cold foam cold brew with artichoke.
In the mornings, Greg will typically drink an iced coffee, a cold coffee. Gina does hot coffee, and then I do tea.
By listening to the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast.
Darkness Retreat isn't for me. Ayahuasca's probably not for me.
Sponsored by Siding Unlimited.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
you're going to be happy, happy, happy.
And with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring,
or a better diamond,
or a better price,
has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
if you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
Yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate,
we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores has been voted the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Best in Thrift. So to all who voted for us, thank you. And to those who haven't yet been here, there are so many items to explore. And at thrift store prices, you can find a really great deal. At the same time, you'll be helping us help others, sometimes folks right in your own neighborhood. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
In a recent study, over 1/3 of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown. Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Start the new year right. Use your vision benefits and schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam. You can check out new frame styles and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Shopco Optical is committed to quality eye care and will create personalized vision solutions tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. New year, new you, new style. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12:01. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, January 7th. Your top story, getting the FBI involved in a Wisconsin manhunt.
I'm Jessica Ty, blocking the release of the investigations report into the president-elect.
Partly cloudy today, a high of 27. Partly cloudy tonight at a low of 13. Some flurries possible on Wednesday, mixture of sun and clouds, and a high of 22. 22 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 12:02 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom. An armed and dangerous man is still at large.
The FBI and U.S. Marshals joined the search for 47-year-old Virgil Thu. He now faces homicide charges for 3 deaths at a home in New Lisbon. Authorities believe Thu may have left the western Wisconsin area. The woman found dead in the home has been identified as Thu's girlfriend, 33-year-old Elizabeth Kolba. 2 girls were also found dead, ages 12 and 13. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Thu's last confirmed location just outside of New Lisbon on January 1st.
A 19-year-old suspect shot during a struggle with 2 Milwaukee police officers. It happened late Monday at a home on the city's south side. Police say the man pulled out a gun. Officers were speaking with a man who was wanted for sexual assault of a child and child enticement when the struggle ensued. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman.
While communicating with the suspect pulled out a firearm. A struggle ensued between 2 officers and a suspect over the firearm. One officer discharged his firearm, subsequently striking the suspect.
The suspect is in custody and is expected to survive. The 35-year-old police officer involved is now on administrative leave.
A federal judge has temporarily blocked the public release of special counsel Jack Smith's report on investigations into President-elect Donald Trump as an appeals court weighs a challenge. U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon making the ruling just moments ago after an emergency request by defense lawyers to stop the Justice Department from making the report public. The matter is being considered by the Atlanta-based 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Trump was charged alongside two confidants in the classified documents case, which was dismissed in July by a Trump-appointed judge who concluded that Smith's appointment was illegal.
We're hearing more from the ex-girlfriend of the man who blew up a Cybertruck outside a Trump hotel in Vegas. She's talking about the pain he carried from his overseas deployments. News Nation's Nicole Fierro reports.
Alicia Arrett is the ex-girlfriend of Matthew Livelsberger, the 37-year-old active-duty Army soldier from Colorado Springs who police believe was at the center of this Cybertruck explosion in front of President-elect Donald Trump's hotel in Las Vegas. Investigators believe Livelsberger killed himself before the blast injured 7 others. She shares text messages dating back to when they started dating. He told her about mental health struggles in the past. Then he texted her just days ago, telling her about the Cybertruck he rented in Denver.
Livelsberger said in a note, this was not a terrorist attack, but a wake-up call.
Stricter voter ID requirements could be coming to Wisconsin's Constitution. State Republicans are proposing a constitutional amendment for the April spring ballot to enshrine Wisconsin's photo ID requirement into the state's constitution. State Democrats argue the requirement makes it more difficult for people to vote, especially the elderly and those without an ID. Wisconsin is one of 9 states where voters must present a photo ID to cast a ballot. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red here in the noon hour, with the Dow currently trailing about 60 points at 42,647. NASDAQ off about 280 points today at 19,588. S&P 500 down about 40 at 5935. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
How is Packers quarterback Jordan Love dealing with his injury? We'll check in. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
The holiday season may be coming to a close, but there's still plenty of time to make it a magical one. Ring in the new year with something stunning and timeless from Diamonds Direct. Start the new year with a celebration of your love, or even a celebration of yourself. Whether you're shopping for the perfect wedding bands, a beautiful pair of diamond studs that were missing from under your tree, or the engagement ring of their dreams, Diamonds Direct has just what you're wishing for. This year, make your New Year's resolution to shop smarter by shopping direct. Making a decision on where to make your next jewelry purchase has never been easier. At Diamonds Direct, you're guaranteed to get an extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and the white glove service that we've long been known for. Let the experts at Diamonds Direct show you the difference in a concierge luxury shopping experience. Kick off the new year the way you've always wanted. Customize your experience in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com today. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. The Packers get rolling with their practice week on Wednesday. Not exactly sure how much quarterbacks Jordan Love and Malik Willis will be able to do. They both suffered injuries during Sunday's loss to the Bears.
I couldn't tell you right now because I talked to both of those guys. They seem to be doing all right, but as far as their limits, I think they're going to be okay, but we'll find out over the next 2 days.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, Love is dealing with an elbow injury. ESPN reporting the Bears have sought permission from the Cowboys to speak with Mike McCarthy regarding their head coaching vacancy. And college basketball tonight, 7th-ranked Marquette on the home floor in Big East play against Georgetown. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 7 o'clock.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We do have a new crash that popped up, just a few minutes ago. It's on the exit to Good Hope Road from I-43 North. Closed because of a crash. They do not have the cameras available in that spot. Killed the cameras there. That's a possibility to some of the areas where they have construction. Sometimes they don't have those on. But we do have a new accident. Exit to Good Hope Road from I-43 North. Heads up, there's a crash.
27 your high today under primarily cloudy skies. Some peaks of sun. You'll notice that in parts of our listening area. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 13. Wednesday, chance of flurries, a mixture of sun and clouds, and a high of 22. Up to 28 under cloudy skies on Thursday. 23 degrees, mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
So if you're going to fresh squeeze and fresh press your own juice,
Sounds
is
nice.
that the kind of thing you need to digest and drink in one day, or does it have a shelf life?
Oh.
Celery, ginger...
Oh, you're
apple,
going there. I know where you're going now.
All fresh. You hit it with the juicer. You make this, neon-colored juice that you got to shake a little bit to keep it all mixed up right. But does it have a shelf life, or is it a one-day thing?
I think it sounds so lovely and so fresh, so clean. That's a song, isn't it? Just to have it all in one day. But I think it would be okay, as long as it's in the fridge, to let it go for a second day.
Okay. I'd be a little nervous. We are concerned about Gina. She has brought this green machine back for a second straight day. It's the same thing she pressed yesterday in her new juicer. Nice little holiday gift. Gina committed to health, but I'm a little nervous. It's green and it's settling. I'm a little concerned.
Well, you're not drinking it. And
that's a good point.
If you are drinking it, I don't know, maybe you have a spare.
Second pair of underpants? Yeah, who knows? Never know what you might need. Gina,
if you're just joining us now and you missed that conversation, you can always check it out on our podcast.
Yes, please do. Please check it out on the podcast sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Following some big stories here this afternoon as we flip to the noon hour on a Tuesday.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
A new rule will improve the credit scores of millions of Americans by removing medical debt from credit reports. ABC's Elizabeth Scholze has the details.
2 out of every 5 Americans have medical debt, and those unpaid medical bills can take a big toll on your credit score. But now that is about to change. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is finalizing a rule to erase $49 billion in unpaid medical bills from the credit reports of about 15 million Americans.
Now, important to note, this doesn't mean you don't have to pay medical debt, but the government watchdog says it can no longer be factored into your credit score. The change set to take effect in March, but, there's always lawsuits with this kind of thing. You've got congressional action that's possible as well, so that could delay the timeline.
Well, the death toll is rising in a remote region in Tibet after a massive 7.1 magnitude earthquake. Chinese state media reporting more than 125 people are killed, nearly 200 injured. The search is on as this earthquake occurred near an area where mountaineers gather to climb Mount Everest. ABC News foreign correspondent Britt Clement is reporting from Hong Kong.
There were more than 40 aftershocks in the first few hours following the quake, which struck around 50 miles north of Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world, just across the border. Video shows tremors hitting the Hotel Everest view in Nepal. Now, Chinese state media, they say around 1,000 houses in the area collapsed during the earthquake, and video showing the aftermath with crumbling highways and plenty of debris.
Yeah, they're using drones here in the sky to help search for people as part of an all-out rescue operation. You understand the challenges here, right? I mean, heavy tourist area for those looking to get a glimpse or even climb Mount Everest. Temperatures, Arctic-like, sub-zero degree temperatures, lack of power, not consistent water. I mean, you're in the heart of the mountains in some respects. There are a couple big cities nearby, but this is a massive all-out rescue operation right now.
Yeah, not good. McDonald's is rolling back some of its diversity policies. It's just the latest big company to do so. ABC Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis with the update.
While the fast food giant says it will retire specific programs like pausing participation surveys from external groups and no longer setting representation targets, the company says it will continue with inclusion initiatives and that everyone is welcome under the Golden Arches. McDonald's also says that since 2021, it has reached gender pay equity at all levels of the company, and 25% of its total supplier spending goes to diverse-owned businesses.
Kind of makes me wonder who's next, because we've seen this recently from a number of major companies, including Walmart, John Deere, and Ford.
Universities as well, scaling back in that regard. 12:13 on WTMJ. Speaking of universities, they are out with it. The folks at Lake Superior State University, that's way up there in the UP. They have been at this since 1976. What is it? And what's the current version? We talked to their president after this.
Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
A sinkhole has caused havoc.
The streets want to eat cars. The earth is just turning against us in Whitefish Bay. This time, we can't just blame the earth. This time, we have to blame the arrogance and stupidity of a driver. Then that's nature saying you deed around and you found out. Drove around and found out. Well,
it's an after round?
Not when you're driving. When you're driving, it's deed. See, I did a little play on words there.
Only on WTMJ.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Elizabeth and John bought their starter home 8 years ago, BC, as in before children. Now, with 2 elementary school-age kids, they wanted to make a move to the suburbs for a bigger home with more yard. But they didn't know if or how they could buy their next home without selling their current one. Fortunately, a friend who was a multi-time Accunet client connected them with us, and we soon determined they could, in fact, afford to buy without selling first, which was a big relief to them and their real estate agent. Armed with an Accunet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, it still took several weeks to find the right home for the next chapter in their life, but I'm happy to report that Elizabeth, John, and their boys opened their presents on Christmas morning in their new home after closing just a few days before. Whether you're buying your first home or your next home, go with the pros who have all the tools and know-how to make your home buying experience as smooth and successful as humanly possible. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
27 degrees, your high today. We'll get to an overnight low of 13. Some flurries possible on Wednesday with a high of 22. Back to 28 on Thursday. Looking like maybe 30s on Friday and on Saturday. 23 degrees, mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:16. Well, Jessica, New Year brings the promise of fresh beginnings, right?
Yeah.
It's a good time for that, right?
It always
Maybe you
does, right? Hopefully good things.
Fresh press your juice a little bit if that's your thing for 2025. It's also the perfect moment to reflect on the words and phrases that, I don't know, maybe wore out their welcome. Well, no entity puts more time and effort into determining which words or phrases should be kicked to the curb than the folks at Lake Superior State University. It's a tradition that dates back to 1976. The list proudly shines a spotlight on words and terms that are overused, misused, or maybe just unnecessary.
I like that. That's not necessary.
We just don't need to do it, right? So we are going to go through the list, but I thought it'd be fun to welcome in somebody from Lake Superior State University. None other than President Dr. David Travis, who joins us on the line right now from way up north in the UP. Hi, Dr. Travis.
Good afternoon from snowy Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
You are getting some snow up there, so more of a sincere winter maybe than last year?
Oh, yeah, making up for lost time. I think we've got about 20 inches on the ground right now.
Oh, wow.
Good stuff.
We could use some of that for the people who love Wisconsin winter. We don't have much down here.
Well, snow is not on the banished words list for 2025, but there are a handful of words and phrases that are, including
cringe.
Yep, cringe. So, Dr. Travis, who contributes to creating this menu of words that should be banished? I assume they come from all over the place because you've been doing this for like 50 years.
Yep, this is our 49th year, and indeed, when we say all over the place, we mean all over the world. We get submissions. I think it was 24, 25 different countries this year, mostly English-speaking countries from around the world. But the list is internationally known, and people start contributing. We've already got contributions for this year for next year's list. So right away on January 2nd, the list opens, or the opportunity opens to submit words, and at the end of the year, we have a committee that sits down and goes through all of them and evaluates and comes up with the top 10.
So who's on that committee, and is that a coveted spot?
As president of the university, I don't even know who's on the committee. It is shrouded in secrecy. And I even submitted some of my own words this year to the list, and none of them made it. So that tells you that this is a committee that operates in autonomy on their own with a process that is honestly not known. I know it's made up of professors, most likely English professors, but I think we have a variety of individuals offering their opinion, including people of different ages as well. We don't want this to be the old people telling the young people how to talk, right? So there's a mixture of age groups in there as well.
Well, unless you're Taylor Swift, it might be time to leave behind. The term's overuse has made every fleeting moment feel like it demands a historical marker. That's one of the write-ups from Lake Superior State University. A very creative aspect of this is explaining why a word should be kicked to the curb. Who operates that? Who controls the messaging behind the words that are banished?
Well, so we usually try to rely on the quotes of individuals that submit these words, and often it's almost always multiple people submitted it. I'm not sure if this is an anti-Taylor Swift thing. People are sick and tired of her and the amazing tour that she had, or the fact that everybody feels like now's my time. I have to define this time as my era of whatever. But I know that this was something that gravitated to the top very quickly.
I don't know. People sick of Taylor Swift. I mean, she was a game changer in 2024.
Oh, no, you can't. No, that's on the list. You can't use that term.
Game changer? What was it, just used too much? What's the deal with that one? Why is that one on the list?
So this is an example of several words on the list that are simply overused and really over-dramatized. Everything is such a big deal. And we don't need to make a big deal out of moments every single time. That's a game changer. If everything's a game changer, then nothing is actually more important than anything else. And so game changer probably came from the sports world, but it's now gravitated over into the vernacular that we all use for everyday life. Just overdoing it by making a big deal about everything.
Dr. David Travis joining us, president of Lake Superior State University. They are out with their banned words list, words that should be banished, kicked to the curb, never used again. Does the student body participate in this exercise? Everybody get an email on campus saying, hey, we're looking for submissions, help us out.
Absolutely. And we do get submissions from students. I don't know if students are on the committee, to be honest with you, but I do know that as I said, we try to really bring in the voice of the younger generation. There's a word on the list, skibbity, which I'll tell you now, I had never heard of.
Yes, tell us more.
But many of our younger generation have heard of that, and many of them are sick and tired of it. Skibbity just is a word that's been made up through a lot of social media usage to make something seem special. My skibbity outfit, my skibbity clothes, my skibbity computer, things that are made into a bigger deal with the word that a lot of us don't even. If you look that up, there's no real definition of that word. It falls into the classic category of useless words, which is one of the three categories that we have to get into for every word to make it onto the list.
Some people are like, skibbity, if you know, you know. And if you don't, other people are like, sorry, not sorry.
Another banned phrase.
Yep, both of them. If you know is a good example, I think, of the overuse of abbreviations through a lot of texting, and I think trying to act like everything's sort of meant to be in certain ways. If you know, it's sort of a way of basically implying that, I already knew this was going to happen type thing. Sorry, not sorry, I think is a great example of trying to say something but not really say it. So not taking a stance kind of reminds me of when you ask someone how they're doing. Another phrase that drives me nuts is when I hear someone respond to how you doing, they say, living the dream. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by that comment. Are you happy? Are you not? Are you being sarcastic? Sorry, not sorry falls into that category.
There have been some words of the year that have sort of cropped up recently that they're not used as intended. The word demure was a very popular word because of a social media influencer in 2024. I was a little surprised, Dr. Travis, to see this word on your banished list. I guess I'm struggling to find the issue with...
Utilize.
Yeah, what's the issue there?
Utilize is a good example of us trying to sound more sophisticated with the words that we use than we need to. So right now I am using my phone to talk to you. I'm not utilizing my phone. And this is the type of thing that we do. We take words that are bigger and we overuse them, and we really don't need to. Utilize most of the time is not necessary to be used in a sentence, but we've just gotten into that habit.
That's so true. It's kind of like, you don't talk like that. People don't talk like that. I always think sometimes, too, when we get a press release here in the newsroom, it's police speak. The guy fled on foot. No, the guy ran off. He just ran away. People don't speak like that.
Exactly.
Right? Let's just speak like that. 100%. That was another one a lot of people are using, and that one needs to be put away no more in 2025. Why is that?
It sort of falls into the same category as game changer. Honestly, no one agrees with anybody 100% on a certain statement or an action. I think it's a way to reaffirm that what you are saying or doing I like, but 100% is taking it too far and implying absolutely 100% agree with you. And again, it's another way of taking, I think, a term that was intended for something else, like game changer, and really making it sort of the modern use of I agree, I support you. It's overused.
What if people, you said something, you're like, 50%. 75%.
Well, it's not banned yet. That's not banned yet. The other one I noticed on the list here.
Period.
Yep, period. So is that like you say the word period and like end of my sentence, full stop, period?
Yeah, well, we're taking punctuation now, and we're bringing them into the words that we use. Again, another example of overuse, over-exaggeration. I agree with everything you're saying, period. And it's just not necessary. It's usually redundant the way we use it.
Well, there you go. Now we know. I'm very curious to see where this list goes. Dr. Travis, if we want to submit a word to be banished for 2025, how do we do that? How can our fans do that? We want to make sure you have plenty of submissions.
Yeah, I'd love to get them from Wisconsin, Milwaukee especially. We have on our website, lssu.edu, a link. You just have to type in banished words. You can Google it, LSSU or Lake Superior State University, and there'll be an easy form you can fill out. We ask you to give a little bit of an explanation, like what about this word don't you like, or this phrase, and it'll be part of the ones we consider for 2026.
Looking forward to it.
Well, I dropped skibbity in 2024.
Yeah, I never absorbed it, thankfully, I
No,
think.
me too.
1226 and WTMJ, Dr. David Travis from Lake Superior State University, president of that fine institution, way up in the UP. Dr. Travis, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep, you bet. Again, the lead word here is...
Cringe.
I think it's a great story. Love it.
Special Milwaukee Auto Show Advance Discount Ticket Offer has been extended to January 22nd. Turns out a lot of people want to come to the auto show. Get your auto show tickets now at a big discount. Buy a single ticket, or how about a pair of tickets for date night? Or you can buy a family 4-pack and take everybody. They can see all the latest vehicles, including cars, trucks, SUVs, luxury cars, and much more. For advance discount tickets, go to autoshowmilwaukee.com. That's autoshowmilwaukee.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ. It's Greg Matzey for Siding Unlimited. Truly, siding and a whole lot more, and America's best installer of America's best replacement windows. They don't have the word windows in their business name. No, it's just Siding Unlimited, but they are way more than just a siding company. Started as a siding company back in the day. Well, now Aaron and Eric Brown have taken the company over from their father and expanded their offerings. So here's what you got. Windows, doors, roofing, siding, pretty much anything to help beautify your home's exterior. Ask them about decking projects, pavers, outdoor kitchens, pergolas, you name it. It's Siding Unlimited, all right there in Brookfield. Siding and a whole lot more. They can help beautify your home's exterior. They've done it for us. over the last several years, and they also have the best installation teams you're going to find. In fact, Pella has recognized for the past 5 years Siding Unlimited as their National Certified Contractor of the Year. That is a national award. Want windows? Check it out. Great local company. It's Siding Unlimited, delivering National Championship Award-winning service. Great craftsmanship, great people. They are clean. They do it the right way. It's sidingunlimited.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. You business owner, I got a perfect way for you to freshen up your business. How about a fresh coat of paint? Call your neighborhood CertaPro painter. Ask about their color consultation services. I use CertaPro. They're the best. They're affordable. They're efficient. They do things the right way. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Homeowners, this is the way to freshen up your house like we did. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. That's the guys I trust. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
And now about your house. It's where you live. But do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home living beyond the walls. Your imagination may be limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
Some of the most exciting projects from Outdoor Living Unlimited involve adding dimension to the backyard. During the design phase, we bring all kinds of ideas to the project. We generally start with the focused effort in the 2D world, the two-dimensional world, with a deck or a paver patio. I call this our blank canvas. Decks and patios, when built right, are wonderful to enjoy when you want to relax and unwind. Designed correctly, these projects lend themselves to adding a third dimension to the backyard that often consists of a version of a pergola. I say version of a pergola because the term pergola has taken on so many meanings and styles recently. We can build a pergola that has cedar slats to break up the sun, which looks beautiful, gives the backyard a defined space, and definitely adds another dimension to the backyard. These are stylish with their natural beauty. If you're looking for more, pergolas have evolved all the way to powder coat aluminum framing with automated louvers in the roof that open for natural light or, with the press of a button, close to deflect rain or create shade. These newer contemporary pergolas also have automated screens that you can open and close with the push of a button. You control your space. If you want screens for privacy, wind deflection, or to deter bugs, you can have them down. Or press a button and the screens roll up and you have a clear view of your surroundings. There are so many other options when it comes to designing your space. Adding a third dimension brings excitement to any backyard.
See all of the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page. Or see it inside Outdoor Living Unlimited's unique Outside In showroom in Waukesha. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, January 7th. Your top story. Not a good time to drive a UTV onto the thin ice.
I'm Jessica Ty. Green Bay is more than just about football.
Partly cloudy today, a high of 27. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 13. Sun and clouds, maybe some flurries on Wednesday, and a high of 22. 24 degrees. Chilly, but mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:31. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, another UTV ice rescue in Wisconsin. A man is recovering after he fell through the ice while riding his UTV on Lake Holcomb in Chippewa County. This happened on Monday. It comes after two men were rescued from Lake Sinisippi when their UTV fell through the ice Sunday evening. One of those men was arrested for operating while intoxicated.
A lack of meaningful snow on the ground is once again hurting northern Wisconsin. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Naznansky tells Wisconsin's Morning News it's been another slow start to winter.
I know we really hammered on it last year, but they're off to another terrible start. Now, granted, it's been cold that they can do some ice fishing and stuff, but they've had less snow than we've had, many parts of the state, like Wausau and Points North. And I'm not seeing anything major, even for the Northwoods here for a while.
The Wisconsin State Climatology Office says last winter was the warmest in the state since it started keeping records back in 1895. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in just minutes.
Logging dangers lead to a trail and road closures in Chippewa Falls. The park's Recreation and Forestry Department closing all the trails and roads leading to the north end of Irvine Park. Forestry staff are removing a large number of dead and dying trees from the area. Even if the equipment is not being used, large branches may continue to fall in the areas that have been cut. You can see maps of the trail closures on our website at WTMJ.com.
Funding secured to build another high-rise in downtown Milwaukee.
The 31-story apartment tower would become the tallest mass timber high-rise in the state, located near Edison and State Street along the Milwaukee River. That's right near the Marcus Performing Arts Center. The Milwaukee Business Journal says Neutral, which is based out of Madison, has closed on the bank financing, and construction could start this year. The apartment tower would have about 370 units, but still needs buy-in from members of the Common Council. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Well, preparations are already underway in Green Bay. Not for the playoffs, for April's NFL Draft. Jen Metcalf with Discover Green Bay tells WTMJ the city is way more than just Lambeau Field.
This is our opportunity to really welcome all these folks who are coming here in the name of football, but they'll also be visiting our restaurants, our bars, our parks, just everything in our community. So it's really important for us to make sure that we give them a good first impression if it's their first time here.
The NFL Draft begins April 24th and runs through the 26th.
Running on 7 continents for cancer research. Dr. T. Clark Gamblin at Froedtert Hospital in the Medical College of Wisconsin tells WTMJ he has 3 goals in mind to finish the World Marathon Challenge at the end of this month.
1, I want to show up uninjured. 2, I want to semi-enjoy it. I don't have to love every minute. I want to at least semi-enjoy it. I've been working for about a year to do this. And then 3rd, I want to finish, and the finish rate is incredibly high.
Dr. Gamblin will run his first marathon in Antarctica on January 31st and end his journey in Miami on February 6th.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you do the Antarctica thing. Like, I can picture running a marathon in North America or South America or Australia or even Asia. Can't quite picture doing one in Antarctica.
Sounds like a blast, but I'd like to watch.
It sounds cold.
Take some pictures for him.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Here's to a Wisconsin winter you will always remember. To playing outdoors in a winter wonderland. Here's to cozying up around the fire and holding someone close. And to staying downtown, where the food scene makes your heart sing. And to celebrating moments frozen in time. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your winter getaway at travelwisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Packers begin the practice week on Wednesday. Jordan Love, Malik Willis, banged up in Sunday's loss to the Bears. How much will they be able to do in the practice week leading up to Sunday's game in Philadelphia?
I couldn't tell you right now because I talked to both of those guys. They seem to be doing all right, but as far as their limits, I think they're going to be okay, but we'll find out over the next 2 days.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, Love dealing with an elbow injury, which is compromising his ability to grip the football. Packers 4.5-point underdogs for Sunday's game against the Eagles in Philadelphia. And college basketball tonight, 7th-rate Marquette continues Big East play at Fiserv Forum. They'll take on Georgetown tonight. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 7 o'clock.
Well,
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Our newest crash, 4145 north at 41894 north. Right lane is blocked due to a crash there. Also, we're still dealing with the remnants of this one, the exit to Good Hope Road from I-43 north. That one's closed because of a crash. Camera's not working there, so I can't see that one, but I'm thinking, considering looking at the time, there are no delays there, so I think that one will be cleaned up quickly.
Mixture of sun and clouds today and a high of 27. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 13. Some flurries possible on Wednesday. Mixture of sun and clouds and a high of 22, up to 28 degrees on Thursday. 24 degrees, mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:38.
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ, blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight.
The debate over the TikTok ban reaches the Supreme Court this week. The justices will hear oral arguments on Friday. If nothing changes, the ban goes into effect on Sunday, January 19th. So you look at the calendar, that's less than 2 weeks from today. Federal government says because TikTok's parent company is owned by China, the app poses a potential threat to national security. TikTok argues a ban violates our First Amendment rights. Bottom line, no matter which side you're on, one thing is clear. TikTok is one of America's most used social media platforms. So how would a ban impact locals here in Wisconsin? The man in Milwaukee known as JMatt, founder and social media coach at #MKE, joins us live to discuss. And this is the guy behind videos like this.
Here's my little JMatt. Alex of Shrunk 3D asked if he could make me a mini-me.
289,000 people watched his mini JMatt video. He also highlights food. 37,000 people watch this one.
5 places to get pizza by the slice in the city of Milwaukee.
And then there's JMatt featuring fun things to do in Milwaukee.
Move in for a closer look. If you missed this pop-up appearance do you notice the new photo op at Bradford Beach? The home group installed it just in time for Joy Engine's Art Blaze event featuring the last Cosmo.
Does it blow your mind that 289,000 people watched your mini JMatt video?
Yeah, that one was truly a surprise. I was hoping for like 10, maybe 15,000 views, and then shortly after, like 24 hours, there was already 100,000 views. And I thought it was great for the business, but also like just great for getting more reach for my own brand.
How much is TikTok a part of your business and your income too?
Yeah, last year was my first year fully self-employed full-time, and I did the numbers to do taxes already, and I made 46% of my income from sponsored content. A lot of those sponsorships had TikTok involved in the negotiations.
It's really interesting. You use the word business, right? Because for some, it's a hobby. It's a fun thing to make a little video and share it. And then somewhere along the line, it became very monetizable, and it became a wealth-generating mechanism for so many. If TikTok goes away, do you just move on to the next platform and sort of continue what you've done? Or could that potentially be very damaging to individuals like yourself?
It's going to take a hit for sure. There are certainly creators that are only popular or finding success on TikTok. So when that goes away, they'd have to start over on a new platform. And that's to say if they haven't already tried to start over on other platforms.
When you first kind of got into this, number one, I guess it was kind of years back. I mean, you jumped on TikTok right away, didn't you? It's definitely as far as somebody in Milwaukee. But when did you start to realize, because I know you've already come up with a plan B here, when did you start to realize, I can't bank on TikTok and I've got to go I have to spread myself out?
Yeah, I never banked on TikTok. Last year was just phenomenal for opportunities. The year before, I think I had like 3 or 4 opportunities. So it was like significantly different last year. I have no idea how to predict what will happen this coming year, or this year, I guess. I'm hopeful, but it comes with that asterisk of I won't know for sure if I can lean into sponsored content as heavily in 2 weeks.
So as you're coaching other content creators, how are you guiding them through the situation? Are you saying it's good to be diverse? It's good to have multiple channels, multiple platforms?
Yeah, a lot of my clients do LinkedIn, they do Facebook and Instagram. TikTok and YouTube are just platforms if you plan to make video content. You can get away with content creation without video, but if you don't have video, it doesn't make sense to be on those platforms. So I'm always coaching people to be on the right platform for whatever audience they're trying to reach. And sometimes that's TikTok.
Who else in the Milwaukee area is big on TikTok, and why is it working?
Kristen, as goes Wisconsin, she's big on it. She's found a way to break down Wisconsin news and make it in a way that's easy to digest. And that's really what you need to do with short form video content on TikTok or any place. You have a limited amount of time to hold someone's attention. How do you convey a message concisely?
What's funny is I've messed around on TikTok, done some stuff on Instagram, and there are things that I have done that I thought were really good.
Yeah.
And I was really proud of. And like 18 people saw it. And then there are things that I pieced together. I kind of slapped it together, and I had the sound of a camera clicking, and like 88,000 people saw it. And I didn't think it was very good, but it somehow got into the system in the world. How do you know where your stuff is going to go to make it monetizable?
You don't. Unfortunately, I wish I had the secret sauce to that, but I've been in the same situation. Things that I've put a lot of effort in to make it really look flashy doesn't do as well as something I record in 20 seconds and post. It's confusing at times. There's things you can certainly intentionally do, but you can't predict everything.
I played just a couple quick clips from a few of your videos, but when you look back over the years here, what blew up that you were just shocked at? Minus the mini J-Man video, which is a good one.
The first one that got me started on Milwaukee content got me 5.3 million views. Back in the day, there was something called the Milwaukee Pirate Barge. It was a barge with pirate decals. It was stuck in the Menominee River riverbed, and I posted that hoping it would go viral, and in my mind, viral was 10,000 views. In 24 hours, it got 1 million views, and this is in early 2020 when views also equated follows, and I got 50,000 followers within a week of posting that. It was incredible.
It is unbelievable just how the stuff sort of takes off, which is why so many are concerned in trying to pay attention to what's going to happen here at the Supreme Court. Do you have any issues about security when it comes to TikTok and the reason behind the debate and the controversy?
I can understand it, but then I would want to look deeper at Meta and other social media platforms. I think there's things behind the scenes that benefit Meta if TikTok goes away. And there's so many apps we blindly download onto our phone that aren't even social media related, that we're not nitpicking and going through the terms of service and figuring out what they truly have access to on our phone and where these apps are manufactured and who owns them. We're only looking at TikTok because it has such a huge active user database.
This has gone back and forth so much, talking about a ban on TikTok. And just more recently, you had last April, President Biden signed the ban into law. In December, a federal court in D.C. upheld the law. TikTok ban, as I mentioned, now set to go into effect on Sunday, January 19th. You have Donald Trump, who at first was in favor of a TikTok ban. He's now asked justices to delay their decision until after he enters the White House, which will be the next day. He's going to be inaugurated one day after the ban takes effect. So it kind of just feels like it's this way and that way and back and forth. But now here we are, and if nothing changes, it's supposed to happen. I guess my thought to you is, for a while I thought, oh, this is never happening. Now it feels like it's going to. You live in this space so much. What do you think is going to happen?
I have to go on the side of, okay, if it gets banned, what next? I can't hopefully wait around for it to get reversed, and that is just not strategic. It doesn't help me as a business owner and how I make income. I have to assume that it will, in fact, be banned, and what will I do to pivot to make sure that I'm able to bring in enough income to sustain my lifestyle?
Now that you're at this point, do you work with Visit Milwaukee and other local entities to sort of kind of get the word out, or maybe point your arrow toward a specific direction? Or is this all kind of independent, on your own, sampling pizza, best place to grab an old-fashioned in Milwaukee, like that kind of stuff?
All of that stuff, the content that I create, is truly independent. Anytime that there is outside influence in what I do, typically I'm getting paid for that influence, and I always disclose with a hashtag ad, paid partnership. I don't try to hide that, because I think if you hide it and work around it, yeah, you can maybe trick the algorithm and not have to worry about it, but you're lying to your audience. And that, at the end of the day, is the most important. Once you lose their trust, you can't get it back.
You mentioned in 2024, TikTok played a role in 40% of your income. That's significant.
Yeah.
What comes up like next after TikTok? So if TikTok goes away, what social media platform are you like, this is the one that I'm hoping goes to 40% as well, or 50% or more?
Well, the Meta and Instagram existed before TikTok, and it was a place that a lot of influencers existed, got paid for content, and it still exists. And a lot of these deals that I do with TikTok include Instagram. So it's going to lean more towards Instagram, but because of following and engagement that I get on that content on Instagram compared to TikTok, I can't charge as much. So it is automatically a bit of a hit, but I do know that I will continue to get traction on that platform. Where am I going to see the same engagement and traction as TikTok? I don't know.
There's some people listening right now who are like have never been on TikTok, right? You have some people who love it, who find it kind of addicting to watch all these catchy videos. Then there's some people who have never been on it in a day in their life. I kind of wonder for those people who are listening too. You use it quite a bit, but there are also people around the country and around the world who bank on this more. I said 40% of your income. That's a big deal. But there are some people, it's got to be up there like 90%. How have you seen TikTok grow in such a fashion that it has changed lives?
TikTok Shop is a big part of it. I know somebody who has 2 million followers in the Milwaukee area. I think they live in Franklin or something. They are a banner shop, and it's MillWeb One. They do live streams of shipping your order, and they have a fun way that they go about it. But they are a banner store at the end of the day, and they have to be able to get your order and turn it around and send it out to you within 2 days. So it's quick turnaround, kind of competitive with Amazon in a sense that when you order on Amazon, you get your stuff real fast. When you order on TikTok Shop, they intend to get that to you really quick. And I think that motivates people to shop on TikTok Shop, and it helps the income for a lot of small businesses that may only be on TikTok Shop.
Hey, what's the phrase? TikTok maybe buy it, right? And it's just like, is somebody using some sort of steam cleaner to clean their couch, and all of a sudden it's the thing you have to have? If it's an advertisement, you don't buy it. But if somebody's using it and showing how effective it works, well, there you go. You're more inclined to buy it.
And some people may think, oh, it's just a silly dancing, but you can actually learn quite a bit. I have definitely learned things from TikTok. In fact, I was at my dog's cardiologist the other day, and I was saying I was trying to find a video of this cough that he was doing. I couldn't find it. Couldn't find it anywhere, just in the normal Google search. A couple weeks later, I was looking at TikTok. I must have, been worried about it and put it in the search. And sure enough, there were like all these videos of people. I'm like, this is what it is.
Yep.
It sounds silly, but it you can learn from it, too.
Yeah. TikTok is truly what you want to make it.
For sure. Well, J-Matt, it's coming up soon. We'll know whether TikTok is banned or not. And we'll be watching for you on TikTok in the meantime. J-Matt from Milwaukee.
Here's my little J-Matt. Alex of Shrunk 3D asked if he could make me a mini-me.
This is a great standalone clip. 12:50 on WTMJ. We'll wrap up the program with some final thoughts after this.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Eric Bilstead. As we ring in 2025, are you heading into the new year with the same old joint pain? It's time to make a resolution, to get moving again. No more achy joints for your knees, your hips, shoulders, or your back. You're going to call QC Kinetics in 2025, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. Got locations in Greenfield and Mequon under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions. So many of your neighbors here in Milwaukee are living life again without the constant pain in their joints. Here's what you do. Resolve to get lasting relief in 2025. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today. Happy New Year.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, a lot of folks have buying a home on their New Year's resolution list, and while national news headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, I'm afraid that's just not the case in most of Wisconsin. So how do you make your offer stand out from the others so that someone else doesn't end up sleeping in your dream home? Well, it takes a team of a good real estate agent and a mortgage lender who has all the tools and techniques to help make your offer as attractive as possible in the eyes of that seller. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an Accunet, rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that might also come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. We'll also help you understand exactly what it means in dollars and cents if you do decide to offer over asking or give that seller some appraisal wiggle room. All you have to do to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is click on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Wrapping up a Tuesday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News, Greg and Jessica. Don't forget to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, brought to you by Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Gina's got stuff from the show already up. Always ahead of the game here. Take us with you and listen at your leisure to Wisconsin's Midday News. Interesting story here. So two big providers of photographs are merging.
Yeah.
Sherry Preston has the story.
Getty and Shutterstock say they are combining to create a new $3.7 billion company focusing on visual content. It won't just be still images either. The new platform will also offer video, music, 3D, and other media. The merger comes amid competition from AI-generated media. The new company will keep the name Getty Images, and Getty CEO Craig Peters will serve as the CEO.
It's kind of an interesting story. So I use Getty regularly. So I do a Bucks post-game highlight reel, and then I have a story that I create for our website, WTMJ.com, after every game. And I'm not at all the games, so I have to go to Getty to find images. It is incredible how quickly those images are uploaded. You got the photographers sitting around the baseline.
And they have just some unbelievable photographers, too.
It can be halftime, right? And you've got 15 images of just Giannis doing something from Getty, and they pluck one of those, put it into the story. It's incredible how on the fly that is. But I do wonder how many outlets really use it, and if they have to evolve their business to sort of put themselves in front of more people.
Well, you think about how many newspapers use Getty Images. But certainly, I mean, if you have a great photographer in-house, you're going with your own people, right? But your own people aren't necessarily everywhere that there's a big story, so you're relying on that. But then you also have newspapers going away.
A very good point. So part of that evolution is now involving video and music and 3D and other media. So in this world of AI, you've got to be able to be more than just static. And you have to be nimble, too, because things are changing ever so rapidly. Back to CES going on right now, they just unveiled one of the new things from Samsung, and that's an expandable television screen. So picture this. You're watching TV, and that football that's flying toward Christian Watson, all of a sudden there's a sack of the quarterback, maybe, and your screen bubbles out.
It
to
bubbles
get a more
out.
3D kind of view of what's happening.
Like I want to grab the ball?
An expandable screen, a screen that actually moves out. The action moves toward your face if you're sitting on the couch.
The Bears are going to get the ball, and we don't want that to happen, so I go up like, no.
This is crazy.
No interception. Come on, Packers, win the game.
Absolutely crazy stuff. So big providers, giants in the industry, have announced a merge. Interesting stuff. News coming up in just a couple of minutes here on WTMJ that it is spanning the state. Jessica and I back on Wednesday.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where the New Year's sale is on. Hey, is there a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC in your future? Connect with Holiday and find one that's right for you. Stack it with their low, simplified price, get more for your trade, then pair it all up with the season's best offers. Ready to take the roads this winter with confidence. Another great option. Check out a GM-certified pre-owned model. Enjoy the peace of mind benefits like 2 factory-backed warranties, scheduled maintenance, courtesy transportation, and roadside assistance all included. Driving a GM-certified vehicle from Holiday is a no-brainer. I know you'll appreciate Team Holiday's welcoming, friendly, and genuine guest care. It's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over. Fans like me and thousands of others who drive Holiday, Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Hey, Dan, another satisfied client.
Yeah?
Marlo just told me that